From Zakhm to Shifa, Revenge to Release. Welcome back to From Zakhm to Shifa, our sacred space where we transform our deepest wounds into pathways of healing, where we learn that sometimes the greatest victory is not in getting even, but in getting free. I am your sister on this journey, and today we are diving into one of the most human struggles we face, that burning desire to make someone feel the pain they have caused us. When someone breaks our trust, betrays our vulnerability, or wounds us in our most tender places, there is a part of us that whispers, they need to know how much they hurt me. They need to feel what I felt. This is a conversation about the difference between justice and revenge, about why our hearts cry out for emotional symmetry when we have been wronged, and about finding a path to healing that does not require the person who hurt us to participate in our recovery. Because sometimes, beautiful soul, the most powerful response to betrayal is not striking back. It is refusing to let their actions define our peace. When trust becomes a weapon, there is a special kind of pain that comes when someone we trusted turns our vulnerability into a weapon against us. It's the friend who shares our secret at a dinner party for entertainment. It is the mentor who takes credit for our ideas in front of people who matter. It is the professional who exposes our most private struggles in ways that leave us feeling ashamed. I know this pain intimately, not as someone who studied it, but as someone who has lived it. The way it sits in our chest like a stone, the way it makes us want to craft the perfect response that will make them feel exactly what we have felt. When someone violates our trust, especially someone we allowed into our sacred spaces, our nervous system does not register hurt, it registers threat. Our primitive brain starts calculating, how do I restore balance? How do I make them understand the weight of what they have done? Beautiful soul, this isn't weakness, it is human. When someone hurts us, we want to hurt them back. It is our psyche trying to create equilibrium in a world that suddenly feels unfair. But here is what I have learned through my own journey with betrayal. The desire to make someone else feel bad is often our pain looking for validation. It is our hurt saying, what happened to me matters. I matter. And if they could just feel what I felt, maybe then this wound would close. The mind keeps the file open when someone wounds us and walks away unaffected. It replays scenarios, plans conversations, seeks the moment of recognition that might never come. We become prisoners of our need for them to understand. The sweet poison of revenge. There is something almost intoxicating about imagining the perfect revenge. That moment when they finally understand, when they feel the shame, the exposure, the betrayal, when the tables turn and they are the ones feeling vulnerable and hurt. Scientists have actually studied this. Researchers have shown that when we are wronged, our brain processes it as physical pain. The same neural pathways light up. Betrayal literally hurts our bodies, not just our hearts. And what happens when people get their revenge? It activates our brain's reward centers. Revenge feels good in the moment. It is like a drug that promises relief from the ache of injustice. But like most drugs, the high is temporary, and the crash can be devastating. I remember crafting what I thought was the perfect message once, not cruel but cutting, precise. I wanted them to understand exactly how their actions had affected me. How many nights I had spent replaying their words, how their betrayal had changed something fundamental in me. Their response? Defensiveness, dismissal. You are being too sensitive. I didn't mean it that way. You're overreacting. I walked away from that conversation more wounded than before. I had gone in hoping for acknowledgement and walked out with fresh cuts. I had sought validation and received dismissal. This is what researchers call revenge backfire, when our attempts to balance the scales actually tip them further against us. The prison of waiting. Here is the cruel irony of betrayal. The person who hurt us might be sleeping peacefully while we lie awake replaying their actions. They might have moved on while we are still composing mental letters. When we make our peace conditional on someone else's pain, we hand them the key to our healing. We make them the gatekeeper of our freedom, and that, beautiful soul, is another form of bondage. There is a concept psychologists call rumination, that endless loop of replaying what happened, planning what we will say, imagining their reaction. It is like being stuck in emotional quicksand. The more we struggle against it, the deeper we sink. I have spent months in this cycle, every day composing speeches I would never give, every night imagining scenarios that would never happen. It was exhausting. This is where ancient wisdom meets our modern understanding of the human heart. The Quran speaks to this tendency. But whoever forgives and makes reconciliation, his reward is with Allah. It is not commanding us to be doormats. It is recognizing that holding on to revenge is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to get sick. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting. It does not mean allowing someone to hurt us again. It does not mean pretending the wound does not exist. True forgiveness is about freeing ourselves from the prison of waiting, waiting for their understanding, waiting for their pain to match ours. It is about realizing that our healing does not require their participation. The alchemy of release. How do we move from that burning desire for revenge to genuine release? First, we honor our pain without shame. What happened to us was real. Our hurt was valid. Our anger was justified. When we minimize our wounds, we delay our healing. The betrayal we experience deserves acknowledgement, if not from them, then from ourselves. Second, we understand that justice and revenge are not the same thing. Justice says, "This was wrong, and I will protect myself from it happening again." Revenge says, "This was wrong, and now you must suffer as I have suffered." I learned a technique that made it possible to let go of the hurt. It required a lot of practice, but it worked. I wrote a letter I would never send. Every word I wanted to say, every emotion I needed them to understand, every consequence I wanted them to face, I wrote it all. The betrayal, the sleepless nights, the way it shattered something precious in me. I read it aloud to my empty room, imagining they were there, imagining they heard every word, imagining they understood completely and responded with a perfect acknowledgement, the ideal apology, the recognition I craved. I did this over and over again, and I realized I didn't actually need them to feel bad. I needed to feel heard, and I could give myself that gift. Third, we reclaim our power through boundaries, not battles. We cannot undo what was done, but we can decide who gets access to our trust in the future. We cannot erase our vulnerability, but we can choose more carefully where we place it. What would be the most profound response to someone who betrayed our trust? Living so fully, loving so wisely, that their betrayal becomes a chapter in our story of resilience, not the story itself. When freedom becomes your victory, there is something beautiful that happens when we stop needing other people to validate our pain. We begin to understand that our worth is not determined by how others treat us. It is determined by how we choose to treat ourselves in response to how others treat us. Our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, faced betrayals that would shatter most hearts. When offered the chance for revenge against those who had stoned him until his feet bled, he chose mercy instead. Not because he was weak, but because he understood something profound. His peace did not depend on their punishment. This means we become strategic. We protect ourselves. We set boundaries. We seek justice through appropriate channels when necessary. But we don't make our healing conditional on their awakening. When someone has wronged us and shows no remorse, when they have wounded us and walked away unaffected, we face a choice. Do we give them continued power over our emotional state, or do we reclaim that power for ourselves? The most liberating realization I have had from forgiveness is that their understanding of my pain is optional. My healing from that pain is not. Beautiful soul, the person who hurt you may never understand the depth of their impact. They may never apologize, never acknowledge, never even remember. But your healing does not require their participation. The next time you feel that burning desire to make someone feel your pain, pause and ask yourself, am I seeking justice or revenge? Am I trying to protect my future or punish my past? I want to leave you with a question. For the times you are stuck in the vicious cycle of getting hurt and wanting revenge, what would change in my life if I stopped making my healing conditional on other people's acknowledgement of the pain they have caused? This is From Zakhm to Shifa. Until we meet again, may you find the strength to choose healing over revenge. Barakallahu fi. Wassalamu alaikum.